guys, that's your commander today, Raid Shadow Legends. Welcome to the video, guys. I'm glad to have you all here, sending some positive vibes and some love your way if you need it out there today. Hey, it's been like 8 months since we've done some good old-fashioned epic champion rankings inside the game. Quite a few things have changed, so let's go ahead and get to it here. I was gonna do top 10, then I was gonna do top 15. I'm doing top 20, but I probably should be doing top 50 or something like that because there's a lot of good epics in the game, which is great news for everybody. I do want to start out with kind of a category of honorable mentions to fit in my favorite 20, and we're going to do them in order. We're not going to pussyfoot around today's video, ladies and gentlemen.
Because I'm not a fucking pussy.
We have a tie. We have a tie. We're going to rank them. I'm going to put my money where my mouth is and give you the #1 epic in the game towards the end of the video. But I had to exclude a lot of my favorite nukers, honestly. So massive shout out. This guy's not even really a nuker. He's so much more than that. But Inquisitor Shamil, a few of my favorites I want to give shout outs to. I am such a huge fan of Nagorio. I think that he is absolutely insane right in front of my face there. So love him. I love Genbo the Dishonored. It kills me and pains me not to be able to put Magnar on the list. Probably my personal favorite out of all epic nukers in the game, right? So maybe he should be on the list. I don't know, but I just couldn't fit them all. There's a lot of good epic nukers, and I've left off like 100 of them. Flyja is amazing. Dirindil can absolutely smack guys. If you've not tried this dude out, give him a shot. He is insanely tough and powerful. Tough and powerful.
I'm not who you think that I am.
Lazy adjectives there, Ash. Lazy. Let's just jump into it. Who is on the list, Ash? Stop talking 2 minutes into the video about who's not on the list. All right, Morag Bronzelock is number 20 on our list today. I love Morag, man. She's a defensive champion. She's kind of a damage dealer, kind of a buffer, kind of an ally attacker. She's a jack of all trades. She has a 2-time hitter on the A1, ignoring shields. She actually has pretty good multipliers. She can deal some serious damage. She can AoE with the big version of Strengthen. I've said this before, and I'll say it again. Right now, this outrage ability on this kind of defensive nuker ally attacker blend hybrid is the only epic champion in the game with a big version of Strengthen on a 3-turn cooldown. That's it. You're looking at her. That's it. Very valuable buff. Obviously, just straight up mitigating 25% of damage incoming on allies with the ally attack. It's only 2 random allies that join in on the ally attack, but I mean, that's very valuable in a lot of areas of the game. A1s in this game progressively get stronger and stronger. So even with 2 other allies in addition to her, it's still a good ally attack, especially in restrictive content and Fire Knight, yada. She also has a counterattack when hit while under a strengthen place by herself, which is amazing. She can deal some serious damage in Clan Boss as well. I really love Morag Bronzelock. I decided to add her to the list in light of all of those amazing nukers that I talked about at the top of the video. Coming in at number 19 on the list is Criodan the Blue. Oh, Criodan. He's awesome, man. He's awesome. Let's start with the end. Let's start with the passive. Fills this champion's turn meter by 5% for each freeze debuff placed by this champion. This dude's all about the freeze, right? They didn't make blessings. I'm reading it while I'm Freudian talking to you guys. They didn't make champions like this.
Back in my day, when I started this game,
all we had was like a 4-turn decreased defense Tagoar, and that was the #1 epic that every player in the world is like,
oh, if I could only get Tagoar, everything would be solved.
Man, how times have changed. I still like Tagoar, by the way, but he's not on the list. Increased speed on all allies, and a turn meter fill by 15%, a la Apothecary, right? Now, granted, that's a rare, but this is A3 on a 3-turn cooldown. And then he's got an AoE ×2 hitter on a 3-turn cooldown. Each hit has a 65% chance when both to placing a freeze. Oh my God. That's better than every freeze in the game of every legendary in the game when I started playing this game, right? I mean, I guess Shiramani was like right up there, or Gurgo, I don't know. Anyway, triple hitter with more freeze on the A1. Amazing against Fire Knight hard, but amazing anywhere you're looking for freeze, or I don't know, turn meter booster with increased speed, right? A very good epic champion. Coming in at number 18 on the list, and this might be too low for Mistrider Daithi. This guy is nuts. He really is. Another Force Affinity epic from the Sylvan Watchers. He's got the attack 1 enemy on his A1, but the cool thing about this dude is he has a chance of removing a buff from the target, which is nice, but he also has a 10% chance of granting an extra turn, but he has extra turn mechanics on every ability. So this dude is an extra turn machine. It's super fun to watch. I should have given a massive shout out to Whisper at the top too. I apologize. Love you, Whisper. I was thinking of extra turns and she just came to my mind.
I forgive you.
an AoE with decreased defense, right? Extra turn if it's placed on all enemies. So you have to worry about affinities there, but it's still an extra turn mechanic, which is nice because it is on a 4-turn cooldown. And then he has a self-buffing ability, increase attack, increase accuracy with, that's right, another guaranteed extra turn. You put it all together, you're looking at tons of extra turns, a lot of damage, essential debuff, and yeah, I just really love Mistrider. Coming in at number 17 on the list is an oldie, an old school. There's not a lot of old school epics on this list anymore, guys.
Hook a brother up with them old school.
Probably about half, I would say, of the champions, but Doompriest still has it, man. She really does. She really is so unique from any other epic champion in the game. Sure, she has increased attack, great. Sure, she has a force speed in battles, okay. But it's really just one little itsy bitsy passive that has it all, right? I mean, it heals all allies and it removes a random debuff from them at the start of this champion's turn. You throw in a relentless set and that's it. You've got like this awesome ever-flowing cleanse that is just hitting your team every single time. Doompriest gets the turn on top of the heal. We've realized, granted, she's not as powerful as a Siphi or an Elva or a Scyl the Drake's passive heal, but we've realized, right, how valuable these strong heal passives can be, especially in the duration of longer battles, and she's got that too. She's just so unique, she had to still be on my list. I still use her on my clan boss team. All right, coming in at number 16 on the list is going to be a fella by the name of Archmage Hellmut. I love his base stats. He's pretty tanky, and look at how fast he is. 108 speed. That is awesome. Sure, speed in arena battles isn't the most useful because you don't see him outside of arena like Great Hall progression, but still, he's got it if you want it. He is immune to turn meter decreasing effects. A lot of people forget about that in his kit. It's definitely overlooked and undervalued. On his A1, he's filling his own champion's turn meter, but 20% if it's critical, and you ought to build him with 100% crit rate because my man Archmage, for a support, can smack. He can smack. He's got an A2 time slip, attacks one enemy, and then all other enemies, as long as, again, the first attack is critical. So don't go attacking those force affinities with this ability, and build them with 100% crit rate. Again, you'll get nice damage, and the second hit has a 75% chance when booked to placing a stun on a 3-turn cooldown after attacking. Decrease the turn meters of enemies without stun that didn't land by 20%. What a great control ability. And then you add all of this stuff, right? 3-turn cooldown, increased speed, increased crit rate, and increased crit damage. More damage for all of your nukers, and everybody else for that matter. Even if they're not a nuker, they'll still benefit from increased crit rate, increased crit damage, and the increased speed on top of that. Again, all on a 3-turn cooldown. Hey, if you're looking to activate a Seer, you're looking for lockdown control, you're just looking for an awesome progression, champion. I heard he's very progressive too. Look no further than Archmage Hellmut, the first champion that you get from Doom Tower Secret Rooms. Great reason, 1A, for everybody to take advantage of Doom Tower Secret Rooms on both difficulties. All right, speaking of Doom Tower Secret Rooms, guys, we had Archmage at 16. Let's follow it up with Dark Kael at 15. Dark Kael, you get a little bit longer into the Doom Tower Secret Rooms on the normal difficulty. This guy, man, I mean, it could be criminal ranking him at number 15. I don't know. There's a lot of good epics. Newsflash. An AoE decrease attack, very useful. Each critical hit also has a chance of decreasing the duration of all debuffs on the target by 1 turn. Increasing, decreasing would suck. But he is also placing 3 poisons and a poison sensitivity on a 3-turn cooldown. Tremendous against guild boss, tremendous against single target bosses that are susceptible to poison, a la, Ice Golem progression, or a la the dragon. And then it all comes together with his A1. What a powerful A1, where he attacks 3 times, each hit 35% chance of instantly activating not 1, but potentially 2 poisons, or a poison and an HP burn. He can do it all. He can activate everything off the A1. Very strong in speed runs, or just to really maximize your damage and efficiency against bosses, in particular with that A3 and A1 synergy, help you out in waves with the A3. And I should mention that he can mitigate critical hits by 15%, which is what bosses have in this game, under enemies that are under 2 or more poisons. Very helpful, especially against like old school clan boss. Okay, coming in at number 14 on the list, I love a good ally attacker. You guys know me. I think ally attack is now the Well, to say it's the counterattack of 2019 would be an understatement. It's one of the strongest abilities a champion can have in the game, especially as I already mentioned, they keep releasing these more and more champions with insane A1 abilities, like AoEs on A1. They do crazy stuff. What does that do? Every time they release another good champion with another very good A1 ability, it basically soft buffs, I want to say, every ally attacker in the game when you think about it, because they're even better, right? Fat Man is my
Hold up. Did you just call me fat?
favorite ally attacker out of every ally attacker in the epic category, with all due respect to Catacomb Counselor, who didn't make the list, but I actually really like Catacomb as well. Beatdown, though, it has it. I mean, the damage maximization, increased crit rate, increased crit damage, and then it's an all ally attack, except this champion will attack one target enemy. That's exceptionally good. Think about it even in Hydra, right? We have 6 champion teams. So any ally attack that isn't 1 or 2 or 3, but all allies, is very, very valuable. Think about it in the future. In 2030, when they have like these crazy clan bosses that take 10 allies, 10 champions on a team, he'll be even more valuable because all 9, except for himself, will join in on the attack. He also has body blow, deflecting some damage because he's kind of squishy, especially on the HP. He's bringing a burn and 2 poisons on his A2 ability, and he has a decreased defense on his A1. So he's bringing a lot to the table, even beyond his ally attack. Coming in at number 13 on our list today is gonna be, how about every champion I'm coming to, I'm like, wow, that's kind of low there, Ash. That's kind of low. Vogoth. Ooh. Dude, Vogoth is nasty. You can make a case this dude is like a top 5 epic in the game. I feel like you really could. I'm not making it for you guys today, but I'm saying I could if I wanted to, right? Why don't you just do it, Ash? We're not gonna pussyfoot around today's video, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, triple hitter on the A1, so good, right? Love triple hitters on A1, especially Fire Knight, but it's just great. You just can throw them in. It gives you the luxury of, if you want to, throw them in even some Giant Slayer for a little bit extra damage out of Vogoth. Each hit also has a 40% chance of increasing the duration of a random debuff on the target by 1 turn. Again, that happens on each hit. Great A1 ability. Then he has an AoE provoke, right? 75% chance provoke on a 3-turn cooldown. Heck yeah! Also a decreased attack on targets who receive the provoke. This skill, again, is incredibly underrated. Very, very good. Wave of Revulsion, and then he has heals. This is what everybody knows him, for, right? Whenever this champion is attacked, he heals all allies by 50% of the damage received. Nether Spider, you name it. Anywhere Arena goes second team, anywhere you need big heals, or anywhere you're dealing with big attacks, Bommel, right? He's a very, very competent, beyond competent healer. He has more leech and cooldown decreasing effects on his second passive. He's doing a lot. I mean, there's not a lot of epics in the game who even have 2 passives, right? That's testament of a legendary in disguise right there, guys. All right, coming in at number 12 on the list. We don't have to go far, guys. We have Husk. Husk had fallen out of favor. Everybody talked about Royal Guard, all about Royal Guard for years. Husk was pissed off, man. He was pissed, and rightfully so. And then Hydra came out and he started to really shine, especially with the provoke change. He has provoke on his A1 and he has despair, a hard-hitting AoE attack, enemy max HP attack, I should say, on a 4-turn cooldown, but he also brings stun, which is obviously very useful in Cursed City content and Doom Tower wave content, just controlling with the provoke and the stun in his kit. Hey, we mentioned Royal Guard, might as well include him. And next, I do have Royal Guard over Husk personally. What about you guys? I would love to hear from you how you power rank these 2 enemy max HP champions. I put Royal Guard slightly above. Part of it is just personal preference. I've always used Royal Guard more than I use Husk on my account. And I love the takedown ability. It does a little bit more damage than Husk's ability because it scales off his attack plus the enemy max HP. And I like his hamstring better than Husk's provoke, I guess. The other thing that he's adding to the table, it makes him a boss, super underrated in Fire Knight in particular. 4-time hitter, each with a decreased speed and decreased target's turn meter. Each hit has a 75% chance when booked of decreasing target's turn meter by 25%. So against a boss, you get lucky. It's a 100% turn meter reduction on this A3. Very strong. I'm a big fan of Royal Guard, clearly. Coming in at number 10, guys, we have a tie. We have a tie. Skaramis, the only tie of the video, I promise. Skaramis who has an overall just amazing, incredibly underrated kit. He is so good. I'm telling you right now, he's got an AoE 100% provoke on a 3-turn cooldown for an epic, right? AoE 100% provoke, but he also has a counterattack and a continuous heal, right? His counterattack lets him go into the A1 where he's stealing turn meter with the counterattack, or he's stunning them if their turn meter is fully depleted, which it usually is because they just attacked him while they were provoked. So they have no turn meter, and then he goes in and he stuns them after he provokes them. And then he has this effortless superiority on a 3-turn cooldown, an AoE attack, decreases the duration of all enemy buffs by 1 turn. That's polymorph proof. And then he has a 75% chance of placing a decreased attack on everybody. And then he fills his turn meter by 10% for each buff that has its duration decreased. It is so easy to decrease the duration of 10 buffs. All they have to do is have 5 champions with 2 buffs each, and boom, you have a 100% turn meter fill, on a 3-turn cooldown. I love this dude's kit. It's a lot more than meets the eye. He's taking a lot of turns. He's doing a lot of control. One of my favorite controls, if not, he's my favorite. My favorite control epic in the game is Skaramis. All right, the tie is a new school in Skaramis with an old school. Man, this guy is still criminally underrated. There's not many better supports out there in the game, non-legendary, than Mausoleum Mage. Really, there's only a couple, right? And we'll talk about him. Mausoleum Mage is so freaking good still to this day. He's still pretty fast. His HP is decent. He has a decreased speed on his A1. It's a 50% chance of landing. Decreased speed on A1, something I always look for. I love it. I wish it was a little bit higher of a chance of landing, or a 2-time hitter with each hit having a shot, but he still got it, right? But then we get into the A2. He's more than just a Seer activator, right? Because he has the 3 buffs, so a lot of people use him on Seer teams. I love that the 1 book goes right to the cooldown. Increased crit rate, increased defense, and a block debuffs on all allies for 2 and 1 turn respectively, right? Great buff ability. Increased defense will get more damage out of your defense damage dealers and more survivability out of everybody on your team. Moreover, you're placing a block debuffs. The block debuffs is only 1 turn, which is standard for epics on a 3-turn cooldown. However, hey, they might catch some debuffs in the meantime. The good news is he's got a full cleanse on a 4-turn cooldown as well. Not just a cleanse, but a cleanse from all debuffs from all allies, and then a heal by 10% of this champion's max HP, a good heal. Scales pretty well, right? And then fills each target's turn meter by 15% if 2 or more debuffs are removed from that ally. So turn meter fill on top of that. So my man has block debuffs, increased defense, increased crit rate, decreased speed, a full cleanse, a heal, and turn meter fill. Come on, man. This is Mausoleum Mage, ladies and gentlemen. Old school epic in the game. All right, number 9 on our list. Whew, this is probably my favorite debuffer in the game, and it's Stag Knight. With all apologies to Duck the Pierced, I really snubbed him by not including him on the list.
Hi, there's a gun on.
Bro, it's the quiet car. Gotta use your small inside voice in here, son.
There's a gun.
But Stag, man, Stag is so good. First of all, he's built like a tank. He's got 21k HP. He's got over 1,000 defense. He's got 107 speed, right? His base stats are where it's at. My man has a 2-time hitter each hit with a 50% chance of decreased speed. What were we just talking about on Mausoleum Mage? This is exactly what I want to see out of an A1. Oh, the decreased speed, I love it. He has a passive. Places an increased accuracy on an ally for 1 turn each time they have a debuff resisted by an enemy. It's not a game changer, but it's really nice to have, right? You get a resist, well, hopefully next time you won't get resisted. The only problem is for 1 turn, and by the time they get back to that ability, usually they don't have the increased accuracy anymore, but it's still nice to have. He was the first champion in the game to have an increased accuracy buff. On the Hunt Master, this is where it all comes together. It's an AoE with decreased defense and decreased attack on the same ability. Beautiful. Beautiful. It's a 95% chance of landing. However, with Sniper, it can be 100%. Stag Knight, dude. Fast, tough to kill, can deal some damage for a support as well. I love this guy. I really love Staggy. But he's not my number 1. Even though he's my favorite, I still am not that crazy. Well, I guess it's a valid argument. You could choose one or the other here. But I put Deacon as number 8 overall. Deacon Armstrong, I put him over Stag Knight even though I love Stag Knight, for the following reasons. He has speed in all battles aura, extremely valuable, extremely useful. He has a leech on the A1, helpful. But really the reason is, even though he doesn't have an AoE decreased attack with his decreased defense like Stag Knight does, I compare them because they're both epic debuffers who are very similar, right? Who are both Spirit Affinity as well. But my man, Deke, has the AoE, decreased defense on a 3-turn cooldown when booked, but then he has a turn meter fill, decreased turn meter of all enemies, and an extra turn on a 3-turn cooldown. That allows him to get back to this A2 ability to basically keep decreased defense up on enemies, provided he's fast enough all the time, right? Very valuable, you know, just helps your team so much. They even threw the leech on the A1. I really love Deke. He's so strong. Oh, okay, we're at that point of the video, guys. We're at that point of the video. Number 7 on our list. I wish I could have put him even higher. That's right. I'm a card-carrying president of the Tagoar fan club, baby. Tagoar, come to Papa. Go ahead, soak up the sunlight in your time in the center stage, my friend. My favorite epic reviver by so far. I love Tagoar, the most criminally underrated epic champion in the entire game. He's got an increased defense on the ally with lowest HP on his A1. Beautiful, beautiful ability there. The big version on his A1. The magic stick. On A2, charge can't, an AoE attack on a 3-turn cooldown. He's also got increased speed on everybody, and then he's gonna heal 15% of his max HP. So now we're talking about an AoE attack that actually does a really decent amount of damage. His base attack for a reviver support is 1145, right? So like, you don't have to build him for damage, but you certainly can. An AoE attack on a 3-turn cooldown that does damage with increased speed, with a heal based on his max HP. Okay, he already has the increased defense, and then he has an AoE revive, revives all dead allies, 30% HP is on the weak side, but he does have a shield to help keep them alive. And then on the Aid the Feeble passive, he has damage mitigation. Step aside, Duchess! We got Tagoar!
You think you're a strong boy, but I am stronger!
Okay, I'm joking. I'm joking a little bit. Calm down. Decrease the damage received by all allies with 50% or less by 10%. I mean, who needs damage mitigation the most? The Feeble. That's who the Feeble do. He's aiding the Feeble, literally. Honestly, it's a very useful damage mitigation, right? We don't want them to be taking full damage. It's almost a built-in weak version of Strengthen on everybody all the time whose HP is less than 50%, right? Really solid. He has HP in all battles by 25% as well. Who's with me? Any other card-carrying members of the Tagoar fan club out there? Come on, guys. Tagoar fans, unite! We need like a Tagoar theme song. Any musicians out there can help me out on that? I don't know, at CWA, if you're a musician, you want to make a Tagoar theme song for our club. I would appreciate that. Undead Horde, number 6. That's right, another old school epic made the list. I know there's a faction of you guys right now, maybe about half of you watching, who are like, Seeker at number 6, Ash. You're a little out of your mind, bro. No, I'm not. Seeker, I've said this before, but he truly is one of the most unique rares in the game, epics in the game. He's one of the most unique champions in the game. Scratch rarity, right? Why? Because of his turn meter boost. There's a reason that every unkillable team, or not every, but most, include this dude. Why is everything Bat Eater, Batman, Bat Creeper, Bat whatever the heck? Because of Seeker. Why aren't they using other champions? Rest assured, if there were other champions out there who did what he does better, they would use them, but they don't because he's the best. Why is he the best turn meter champion in the game? I'll tell you why. First of all, like his utility, I want to make sure that you guys pick this up. Pick up what I'm putting down here. His utility is not limited to only unkillable teams. He's great in the arena. I used him so long in the arena on my account, right? And he's great really in a lot of other places. He's got a provoke on his A1, 50% provoke on a 2-time hitter. He's got the tailwind. This is a magical ability. It's a 3-turn cooldown, fills the turn meter of all allies by 30%. Increase attack on all allies, so a great arena opening move, yada, yada, yada. But with the extra turn, that's what makes it so amazing, right? Because he's the only champion in the game who ostensibly can, on a 2-turn cooldown, increase the turn meter of all allies by 30%. You get it? Because of his extra turn. Sure, he takes the extra turn, but it brings it down to a 2-turn cooldown. No other champion in the game can every 2 turns give a 30% turn meter boost to everybody. And 30% is a lot, you know? Very good. And then Dark Blood, very, very good passive too. Heals his champion at 20% HP and places it increased defense. Big version on all allies for 2 turns when he's hit with a critical hit, right? Little mini Kyoku passive going on there. I think that just because the unique offering that Seeker provides to millions of clan boss teams alone, I think that's why I have him so high. But then again, just to play devil's advocate, you could probably make an argument that, like, Ash, why aren't you putting Inquisitor Shamil that high then? Because he does something very unique. And I would say, fair point, fair point. All right, coming in at number 5 is none other than Uugo. Yeah, I still love Uugo. I still love Uugo. She's still so good. I say the same thing. I'm probably being a little bit repetitive here, but I say the same thing every time I talk about Uugo. She really is 2 champions in 1. And in a game like this, where you have limited capacity at the number of champions on your team when you're trying to assemble a squad, right? Finding any champion that can serve 2 roles in 1 champion is easy money. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing. You should always keep an eye out for these type of champions, and Uugo is certainly that. She has a leech on the A1, so some healing built into the A1 ability. She has this insanely good A2, where she's attacking all enemies and placing a decreased defense and a block buffs. Beautiful, perfect for Hydra Clan Boss. I'm sure that if you have Uugo and you're watching right now, probably 90% of you, if you have her, you're probably using her on one of your 3 Hydra Clan Boss teams, right? But obviously this can be utilized anywhere. I don't want to limit it just to Hydra Clan Boss. Insanely good against, you know, any good wave champions out there, or good wave, or difficult waves, I should say, in Doom Tower, in Faction Wars, in dungeons, anywhere that have annoying Valkyries or annoying Siphies or annoying Man-Eaters, right? She can negate all that with the block buffs on a 3-turn cooldown. But then she comes in with the support as well with the A3, right? She already has the leech on the A1. She has the emergency revival ability that synergizes with the final spite passive as well, so she can revive. She has a remove all heal reduction debuff from all allies, and then another random debuff from all allies. So heal reduction, that's great. You know, make sure that she can actually heal them. But then 1 random debuff, it's not a full cleanse, but sometimes that's all you need, right? And then heals all allies by 20% of this champion's max HP, so a great heal on top of that. If the allies are dead, revives them 50% HP and fills a turn meter, but 50% instead. So there you go. That's Uugo, number 5. Number 4 on our list. Ooh, this is where things get pretty crazy, right? Who do you guys think? Who do you guys think I have for the top 4 champions in the game? Coming in at number 4, you can pick these in any order, honestly. They're all exceptionally good. I feel like this is a class, or a tier, I should say, SSS tier. But I have Demytha at number 4. Massive, massive shout out to Man-Eater. Probably should have been on the list as well. Guilty as charged, honestly. I guess we'll just call it a tie so you guys don't skewer me in the comments. But really, I think, personally, from my observations, nothing against Man-Eater, double Man-Eater, whatever, any Man-Eater team is still just as effective as, outside of Iron Twins, as it once was, right? So Man-Eater is amazing. But I think, I'm a Demytha. I'm team Demytha, right? Not to take anything away from, I'm not trying to take shots at Man-Eater. But Demytha is just, she's next level. She's insane to me. She got defense in all battles. And Man-Eater, by the way, has a very, very good kit. His Siphon on the A2, it can 100% turn meter steal, essentially. He's got to increase attack on everybody on his A1. So maybe it is a tie. Let's just call it a tie. But Demytha, man, just having the block damage on a 3-turn cooldown, so good. And she's such a great healer too, right? Elite heals, elite block damage, and she has the buff extension. Decreases the duration of all ally debuffs by 1 turn, and then she increases the duration of all ally buffs by 1 turn. So essential in Clan Boss, right? And really anywhere else as well. And then that heal that can stack up on the Light of the Deep ability. Man, Demytha is so good. She is so good. All right, but again, so is our sneaky tie that I threw in there on on Man-Eater. All right, coming in at number 3 on the list it's Godseeker Aniri, guys. Oh, Godseeker, she is a legendary in disguise if I've ever seen one, right? She really, really is incredible, right? She's got a heal on the A1. She's a passive that increases the amount of healing all allies receive the entire duration of the battle by 10%, which is very, very nice. She has the instant revive on death if somebody's going to get killed. This is just her passive. She has a regular revive, 50% HP, 50% turn meter, and resets the cooldown of all their skills, makes her one of the best, if not the best reviver out there for a Sand Devil, right? When everybody wipes, she revives herself and somebody else, and resets the cooldown of their skills. Quest for Meeting attacks all enemies, heals all allies 15% of their max HP, decrease duration of all buffs on all enemies, increase the duration of all buffs on all allies by 1 turn. Very similar to a Demytha on the A2, not exactly, but similar. Man, she's just so good. What a great and unique reviver in this game. Coming in at number 2 on our list. What do you guys think? Am I too high on this champion? What do you think? Am I properly rating Seer? That's right. I have Seer as number 2 in the game. I mean, what do I say about Seer? By the way, when I was giving the shout outs to all the nukers, I should have mentioned Skullcrown, Sinesha, that combo. I really love both of those champions. Sinesha more of a support, but you guys get the gist there, excuse me. Karma Burn. Enough said? Enough said. I mean, every Kraken in the game, right? Provided they don't have like 4 Calvalaxes or 1 or 2. If you don't have Calvalax, Theodore, type Eleanor, Xavia type team going on, odds are if you have Seer, you're using her probably more than almost any other champion in terms of just sheer reps in the game, because she is Raid Shadow Legends' speed farmer with the Karma Burn. Karma Burn can do more damage than any ability in the entire game can do. Especially against wave content where they have so much HP as an enemy max HP ability. You strip away their buffs, you strip away your buffs, and you kill everybody. Then hopefully you reset and do it again. Seer is this high on the list, not just because she's the best PvE nuker in the game, in my opinion, but really because if you have Seer, you've unlocked a cheat code to save you so much time in this game. And this game always comes down to time. Geomancer is number 1 still. I still think Geomancer is the best epic in the game, guys. He's got an AoE on the A1. He's got decreased accuracy on said AoE, 40% chance at landing. Really nice to have that debuff there. He's got a great A2 where he's removing all buffs from an enemy, then attacking them. He's stealing all their buffs instead if they're under a burn, and he is a great burner. Quicksand Grasp is insane. It's really the synergy with the passive, but you guys know, fully depletes the target's turn meter, right? So like, I love they just add these little like OP amazing things to already an OP amazing synergy, right? Like, hey, steal all buffs, remove all buffs, either or, that's awesome. How about stealing their fully depleting their turn meter too? How about that? How about stealing it? Fills their champion's turn meter by the amount the target loses. Awesome. How about let's add a burn on a 3-turn cooldown that lasts for 3 turns? That'd be cool. Yeah, that OP, right? Hey, let's also add the big version of Weaken to that ability too. Let's do that too. Hey, that's not enough. Instead, how about decrease the damage all allies receive by 15% and deflects that damage back onto the enemy under said burn placed by this champion? How about this? Whenever this champion is attacked, it deflects 30% of the damage instead. When deflecting damage on each enemy hit has a 30% chance of dealing additional damage equal to 3% of the target's max HP. You put it all together, you get one of the best damage dealers against bosses in the game. With all due respect to like a ninja, Geomancer, man. I use I use him on my Phantom Shogun team. I use him on my Iron Twins team. But you can use this dude basically against like half the bosses in the game, right? If you're stuck Nether Spider, I use him on my Nether Spider team, right? And I have almost every champion in the game. And I still use Geomancer more than I do any other epic out there. That says a lot. Geomancer is super strong, super useful. And boy, does he have a good kit, man. It's just such good synergy. He also has HP in all battles by 25%, guys. What do you think? Do you agree or disagree with my choices? Let me have it in the comments below, guys. Thank you for watching till the end. And as always, take care, guys.